Hi everyone, it's Magdalena, Wolf of Coins. Thank you so much for tuning in for the next Tarot de Marseille pairs episode. And it will be a special one because I have prepared something very special. Ta-da! So I've been playing around with the style of illustration that we know from woodcuts, and because I wanted to get to know this style intimately, meaning creating the illustrations myself. And I've been reading a lot on witch trials, and there I saw a lot of, in those materials I saw a lot of so-called devil's wedding or witch wedding images, where a witch is marrying the devil, and in some of them it is a girl who is marrying the devil, but the marriage is initiated by her mother, so the mother is kind of like initiating her daughter into witchcraft. And then I thought, man, those images look similar to the L'Amoureux card, so so this is how this idea was born. And yeah, so I just finished this yesterday, and I am planning on cleaning this a bit in the computer. I used a fountain pen to create this, the front for the thicker lines and the back of the nib for the thinner lines. And boy, it was fun. So yeah, I turned the groom into the devil, and the Cupid is a little devil with a pitchfork and bat wings and little horns. I mean, how fun is that? And the devil has one animal foot, like a hoof, and one hand is also a hoof. There's a tail and horns here. I'm just creating a mailing list, so if you would like to be kept in the loop, like new illustrations, some materials in my shop, or I'm planning also on doing some lives, like reading cards for the viewers live. All this information I will be putting in the newsletters. The newsletters won't be too often, so you don't have to worry that I will spam your inbox, that's for sure. But yeah, you are also able to download this image for free when you sign up for the newsletter. You can download it and color it in yourself. How cool is that? And I'm gonna clean her nose. Look at that. So because I was using a nib, and at some point the nib got a bit, split. It picked some fiber from the paper, and it created this very thick line, so it looks like a character from Moomins. And I'm gonna change that. So she will have a normal nose. Please let me know, how do you like this image? I think it's very funny. I had a lot of fun creating it. Oh, I will add the title here, and the computer too. It is my second tarot card, Tarot de Marseille card, that I have redrawn myself, and the first one was the Fool. I have him somewhere, but it was years ago, so I'm not sure where he is actually. But it was very hard at the time, and I had this idea in my head that it is very, very difficult to draw Tarot de Marseille. I was a bit also paralyzed by the perfectionism, I think. But once I invited the the fun element of little cute devils here, I felt more free to just draw it, and it was fun, and it was not as difficult as I thought it would be. So maybe in the future I will also create some more. Please let me know what you think about it. I think this could be a really fun addition to your like tarot journal or Book of Shadows or whatever. I'm very pleased with this result. But now let's go back to our topic, which is the pair of number 6 and number 16. So in Tarot de Marseille, this card is not called the Lovers, it is the Lover, singular. And common interpretation of this image, this is, by the way, the Claude Bourdelle, 1751, recreated by Yves Renaud. And the common interpretation here is that this is this guy, the groom, who is torn between pretty young lady who like represents sensuality and youth and beauty, and this older woman here who represents wisdom and also responsibility and stuff like that. So like these two are grabbing him and he's like, what am I to do? But, and there's this Cupid above pointing his arrow here, and he is helpless, so he will probably choose love, not responsibility. But this is not the only interpretation we can see here, and I will show you why. So in the older decks, we have, this is just a marriage card. So in the Estensi tarot from the end of 15th century, we even have 2 Cupids. And this is like a marriage procession. In the Visconti Sforza, it is just a couple getting married. And this deck was a wedding gift for the couple who are represented in the card. So this is a union of the Visconti and Sforza families and the blindfolded Cupid. Again, pointing to the groom. Isn't that interesting? But yeah, if we look at the later decks, like the Soprafino, this is already the 19th century. It seems like this is the couple and this is like a king, because there's a crown, who is like blessing their union. This is the Rosenwald Tarot, and this is the end of 15th, beginning of 16th century. And the image is very much different. There is just this man who is love struck with the love towards her, and the Cupid is the biggest on the card. And yeah, this is the Tarocco Piemontese. This is also 19th century, and the image is flipped, because there is also a debate whether it was meant to be like this, like the crown / laurel leaves lady on the left and the flower wreath lady on the right, or the other way around. So here we have in the Piemontese, it's flipped. There is a person in a crown, but the guy seems torn actually between these two. And this is the edition Millennium Tarot by Wilfrid Audouin, and he believes that it should be flipped, that this is a flipped image actually. But yeah, who knows. Then let's look a bit at the other versions of this card. So this is the Jean Noblet by Artisan Tarot. The guy is here torn, and this is the Type 1 Terre de Marseille, so the Cupid is blindfolded. This is the Jean de Dalle, again, a blindfolded Cupid. And this bride has like a perm on her, like perm, those perm sticks, or those thingies that you made your hair curly with. So she seems to have forgotten to pull them off her hair. So yeah, this is the Jean de Dalle by Jean de Dalle by Sullivan Hisman's tarot sheet revival, and the groom is beautifully sleep deprived, and he's like, just give me a break. I don't know. I just don't know. What am I doing here? This is the Pierre Payen, the Jean-Pierre Payen, and it is a very similar one to the Dalle. Again, the perm sticks, or however you call them. And this is the Pierre Madeny. We have these cute flowers here. I really love the Madeny. But when I was drawing my version, I used the Claude Bourdelle the most. I actually had all these spread before me, and I was, just picking here and there. And this was my most used reference. So what do you think? Is he torn? Does it card show a man torn between like love or desire and responsibility, or passion and virtue? Or is it just a guy who is being forced by his mother to get married? It all depends on the reading. So you can see different things in this card each time you read. And now the House of God, also popularly known as the Tower, but in the Tarot de Marseille it's La Maison Dieu. So it is the House of God. But La Maison Dieu was a name in the era for hospitals. So the House of God was a place where you could be healed. Isn't that interesting? So in the older decks, like 15th century, the tower, the House of God, is often missing. In the Rosenwald, we do have it. It looks like this. So if we do have it, it's usually without people. The people figures appear later. But the building being destroyed by some like heavenly force is a very old image. So yeah, what do we have here? We have this tower, because it's a very thin building, with a crown on top. And we have some gooey, weird thingies coming out of the tower, or entering the tower from above. This is probably a sun, which is very visible in the Rosenwald here. This is the Claude Bourdelle. And two people falling out from it, or, well, it depends on the interpretations. Some people see this as people who learn to like walk on their hands, on their arms, using their arms. Some people see the tower as giving birth to those people, like this one is going out of the tower. There is no door in this building, only 3 windows. And what else? We have this snow or confetti thingies, and we have some footsteps here. So why footsteps when they are walking on the palms of their hands? This is a mystery. If we look at the sequence of the tarot cards, the previous one is the Devil. If you haven't seen my episode on 5 and 15, please check it out in my Tarot de Marseille playlist. And I think I will create Tarot de Marseille pairs playlist as well for your convenience. But yeah, there were people who were bound in the Devil card, and now they are maybe breaking free from this prison. And again, everything depends on the context here. Let's just have a quick look at the other versions. This is the Jean Noblet. So no footprints here, but confetti is there. And this looks more like fire is erupting from the tip of the tower, which can also be a very evocative image. Can't it now? This is the Dodali deck. And see this guy, he's very like playful. His legs are like, he looks quite actually comfortable. It doesn't really look like he's like falling from the tower and to break his neck. He looks more like playful and exploring. Then this is the Jean-Pierre Payen and the Madini. There are footprints here. And here we have unidentified thingies. So, how could we read these two? Example, we see them together. So, for example, we see them getting married in the context, of course, if the context allows us to see such a situation. So they are getting married, they form a family, a home, but then the home gets destroyed and each one of them goes their separate ways. Their home is symbolically falling apart, right? So we can see even a divorce here. We can also see the man trying to choose, being pressured from every side and deciding to just leave. He says, I'm just out of here. This is bullshit. This situation, it doesn't have to be a romantic situation necessarily. It's just two people are pulling at him and there's pressure from above as well. It can be even, career related. And he's like, oh, I'm leaving this company. Bye now. Just leave me alone. I'm going somewhere else. Okay, and if we see the cards like this, again, there is chaos here. There are people who are facing into two different directions, and here there is a place for compromise, for communication, for talking things over. Or again, we can see a person who is, if it's a romantic situation, a person who didn't have a stable relationship, symbolized by this building that is, unstable. He didn't have it, but now there is a chance that he will. So there are a lot of interpretations here, depending on the context of the reading. You can also see that you can also be drawn to because when you read, I recommend not analyzing the whole image, every detail in it, but see what draws your attention in the context of the reading. So if for some reason you are drawn to this part, you look here. Okay, there's this crown. There is this strange energy or feathers or wings. And the sun, it can be a beginning of something divine happening in your life. You start with the crown of your head, you contact the divine, and once it starts happening, once the contact is established through this path, you will start getting messages. See, there's this winged Cupid here, with all this energy around him. So you will start getting some advice if spirituality is the context of the reading. So I hope you've enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Again, if you're interested in coloring your own Devil's Wedding L'Amoureux picture, you can download it by subscribing to the newsletter. And have a lovely day. And yeah, please let me know what you think. What do you see in these images? What do you enjoy in these images? How do you see the difference? Or maybe you had a reading like this and you had first the House of God, then the Lover, or the other way around. How did you read it? What did it mean to you? And as always, if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. Have a lovely day. Bye!